It's Q&A time once again here on my channel. Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Over on Instagram, I put up a little question box asking you guys what would be the most helpful to you for me to talk about, answer your questions. If you're not already following me on Instagram, you are welcome to do so. I do question boxes over there every so often. If you have a burning question, you can get it answered. But because I can talk and talk and talk and talk, I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into this video. No more major introductions. Let's just get right into your guys' question. This first question I really like. It is postpartum hair loss tips and style. It's all stringy and thin now. First off, let me just say I feel your pain. My biggest struggle with postpartum hair loss was like the horns that I got when the hair started growing back in. What I would suggest for postpartum hair loss is to not only take care of your hair, but also take care of yourself. Do your very best to get enough sleep, to eat adequate nutrition, and if you really want to ensure that you are doing the very best for your hair regrowth, some brands that I really like, have had wonderful success with, have been the Curlsmith scalp line and the keratin products. These really help nourish the scalp. They create the most opportune environment for healthy hair to grow. And as for those horns that everybody gets that kind of stick up everywhere, what works best for me is to get one teensy little drop of oil on the very tips of my fingers, rub them together, and just grab the tips of the horns with my oily fingers. This is going to coat the tips of the hair with just a touch of oil. It's going to make them a little bit sticky, and it will help them to lay down instead of sticking straight out, and it will coat and nourish them, keep them well lubricated so that they won't split and break as they grow out to be the same length as your hair. For the really stringy effect that happens postpartum, because you went from having a significant amount of hair to way less hair, I would suggest using maybe lighter styling products that help your hair look more full. I enjoy using a volumizing foam or mousse for this. And you may also consider getting a trim to help your hair look more full at the ends, kind of get a nice blunt cut, lose some inches, and if you go ahead and do that, the hair shed that you deal with on wash day won't be quite so bad because the hairs will be shorter. If your hairs are really long and you shed one hair that's that long, it feels like a whole lot more hair than if you shed a hair that's that long. I hope that makes sense. My hair always has trouble parting right. Besides your video hacks, any tips? Embrace the weird part. You don't necessarily have to control your part as much as you would like. That's the fun of wearing wavy curly hair. It can look a little bit more tousled and less put together while also still looking incredibly polished and nice. My biggest trick for like getting a nice straight part is to really brush my roots upside down, and I almost drag the brush along my scalp far back before I kind of scoop everything forward. When I'm styling upside down, this kind of creates a bunch of parts on my head and allows me to kind of flip my part and choose where my hair goes. But that's just not the case for everyone. That trick doesn't work for everyone. So my suggestion would be to just kind of let your hair figure out what it wants to do. And if it wants to have a crooked part, that's really not the end of the world. I can't find a good routine or good products for my hair. What do I do? I think there's this little thing hidden in this question that a lot of people get hung up on. I'm not saying that the person who asked this question is particularly hung up on this, but I know this was a tripping point for me. I started hunting for the perfect products, the perfect routine for my hair to guarantee perfect wash days every single time. What this did is it set me up for failure because I started trying all the products and all the routines, and I would try one product one time and it wouldn't give me the glorious hair day results that I was hoping for, so I would shove it in the back of my cabinet and move on to the next product. What I would actually suggest is, if you are really struggling to find the right products for you and the right routine for you, would be to stop, find you a good low poo. If your hair is on the drier side, make sure to use one that is more nourishing and hydrating. Find yourself a really good rinse out conditioner, a really good leave-in conditioner, and a really good styler. That could be a gel, custard, foam, mousse, etc. I would recommend you find a gel. Pick 4 products and stick with those 4 products for 1 month. I did this way back 3 or 4 years ago. It was called the Consistent Curls Challenge, and you didn't use any other products than the products you picked to start the challenge with. And what this did is it really helped me to figure out which styling techniques worked best for me, which application techniques my hair liked best. I really was able to dial in my diffusing routine, and I didn't necessarily pick products that I loved or thought were perfect for my hair. I actually picked products that I was having trouble with and kind of needed to play around with to get to work for my hair. It worked amazing. I finally figured out and dialed in the application technique that works best for me, which is my curl clumps hacks video application technique. That video kind of blew up. That really surprised me. That application technique not only works for me, I've also heard that it works for a ton of people. So if you want to see the application technique that I recommend, check out that video. Pick products, stick with them for 1 month, quit hunting for the perfect products, and start focusing on application technique. Once you have spent your 30 days on a honeymoon with those 4 products, if you are still really feeling like you don't like your results, you really feel like something's off, something's wrong, I would suggest, instead of buying full-sized products, start purchasing travel-sized products to test out before committing to the full size. Some companies offer free samples like Jessie Curl. I really appreciate that they do that. Mop Top offers little samples that you can pay for, I think. Curlsmith now has some little travel sizes that you can try out as well. So you don't necessarily have to cough up the full price for the entire product. Another thing you can do is make sure that you are purchasing your products from places that take returns. And if the product doesn't work for you, you can return it. I also get asked a lot, Courtney, how many times do you try out a product before you decide that it doesn't work for you? I honestly try the product out 3 or 4 times, and if by the second time I've tried it, I really dislike the product and like what it's doing for me, I will actually go onto Instagram and either ask some of my friends over there or look up that product in a hashtag and see how other people have used that product, and then try out a different technique on the 3rd try and 4th try. And usually I'm able to kind of figure out, okay, I was using way too much of the product. This product does better if you apply it on damp hair versus soaking wet hair, things like that. So that is everything I have on that question. And this next question kind of goes into the last question. Using enough product for hold without hair feeling or without hair looking producty. Fine, natural blonde hair. So this is really hard because to get enough hold to help your hair maintain its shape without using too much product is a real balancing act. For me, the breakthrough happened when I got real intense, real bougie, whatever you want to call it, and I got a teaspoon measurer specifically for my bathroom. and I used it to start measuring the amount of product I was putting into my hair. Before I was doing this, I would have one wash day that would look really good, and then I would try the same product in the same wash day and probably think I was grabbing the same amounts of product when in fact I was grabbing triple or half. I didn't know because I just scooped my hand into the jar and yeah, that looks about like what I used last time, I think. I slept since then, so I'm not sure. The teaspoon measurer, while it does seem excessive, really does allow you to eliminate variables and keep things consistent. Also, if you are really struggling to get enough hold for your fine, wavy hair, it's possible that you just need to search for harder hold stylers. Perhaps custards and curl enhancers aren't necessarily going to be your go-to. Foams and mousses, while they're lovely, don't lend a lot of structure, support, and definition to the hair. I like really hard hold products. This one, and this one are the three that I am currently loving the most for incredible hard hold. So there you go. Best clarifying shampoos. This is my current favorite basic clarifying shampoo. I like the formula. The Neutrogena anti-residue shampoo tends to be pretty affordable. I used to love the Suave Daily Clarifying, but they changed the formula and I haven't seen it change back yet. For chelating or hard water removal buildup, I've been loving the Ion Hard Water Shampoo. That works beautifully for me. Some people find that using products or shampoos that contain the ingredient C14, C16 olefin sulfonate is enough clarifying for their hair. This is a great magnetic buildup remover. So ingredients that build up magnetically on the hair, like polyquaterniums, will be removed lovely, beautifully with the C14, C16 olefin sulfonate. But for me, who is very prone to incredibly oily hair, my hair just gets greasy, it's an issue. I find that the olefin sulfonate isn't enough for me, and I need a good sulfate every once in a blue moon. And that's what works best, which is why I love the Neutrogena anti-residue shampoo. Am I able to get my hair healthy after bleaching it? So I'm a horrible person to ask. I'm so sorry. I wish I could be more helpful, but I gave up bleaching my hair when I started this process in an effort to be my waviest, curliest self. And once I had chopped off all the bleach damage, I actually really fell in love with my natural hair color. So I personally don't bleach my hair because it's cheaper and I like my natural hair color. But if you have bleached your hair and you're really struggling to get the health of your hair back, I have a friend over on Instagram called Coffee Curly Girl. Her name is Kelly. She's incredibly sweet, very intelligent, and she bleached her hair and found that products that contained this ingredient right here, I don't know why I can't pronounce this one, but leave-in conditioners and deep conditioners that contained this ingredient really helped her hair after she had bleached it. Some of the Shea Moisture hair masks contain this ingredient. A product that I personally love that contains that ingredient as well is the Mop Top leave-in conditioner. Also, I can hear you. I can hear you screaming from the comments right now. Yes, you can use Olaplex number 3 at home to help with that bleach damage. It won't undo it, but it will help rebuild the it will help rebuild the disulfide bonds in your hair, give your hair some structure and some strength back. But after bleaching your hair is naturally going to be higher porosity, and it's going to need a lot more moisture, a lot more creams. You may find that you need to use a leave-in conditioner and a hair cream and like a moisturizing gel versus before you bleached your hair when you barely needed any leave-in and kind of a hard hold product. That has been the trend that I have noticed when I have seen people go from non-bleached hair to bleached hair. You may also find that your bleached hair requires trims more often as the ends get a little bit more ragged more quickly. The last tip I have for people who have bleached their hair is to start scrunching out the crunch with an oil. This is where you have washed, styled, diffused. Your hair is 100% dry. There is no more moisture left in your hair, and you are ready to fluff your roots and scrunch out that cast. Make sure that there are 2 to 3 drops of oil on your hands, and that will help seal everything into the hair, lubricate the hair, give your hair a little bit of shine, because really bleached high porosity hair tends to not be as shiny. There you go. Those are all the things you can do for bleached hair. This question flowed right into the last question, and I just now caught it. This is good. Do you ever want to get highlights again? Kind of, but I've also had my natural hair color for the last 4 years nearly, and like I said, I really like it. I like how healthy my hair is, how easy it is to maintain my hair. I just have to get it cut every 4 months, and that's it. Before I was getting highlights, I would have to go every 6 weeks and get trims, and there was just more maintenance to it, and I tend to want to be a little bit lazy. I may want to experiment with all the things and try all the things. I have a tendency to want to do that, but I also don't feel like necessarily going to a salon more frequently than I have to. So for me personally, I like the idea of highlights. I actually have dreams that I've highlighted my hair, and I'll wake up and go look in the mirror and it's not highlighted, and I'm like, oh, I dreamed that. I don't know if I'll ever get highlights, but for now, I personally am very happy with my natural hair color. Where/how do I start? I'm overwhelmed. I feel you. I'm giving you a hug through the camera. I do have several videos on this, but I will cover the basics right now. And I kind of talked about it in an earlier question. If you have just started out, you're feeling incredibly overwhelmed, take a deep breath. This does not have to be that hard. Here are the essentials that I think you need in order to calmly, carefully, and happily start this process of wearing your waves and curls. You will need 4 products for a regular wash day: a lopu, a rinse out conditioner, a leave-in conditioner, and a gel. Yes, the rinse out conditioner and the leave-in conditioner are different. They have separate functions, and I personally have seen people have the most success when they have both, not just one. You will need something different to dry your hair with. You can't use your terry cloth towel anymore. So find you a good old t-shirt that you'll never use or wear again. That can be your new towel. Stop heat styling your hair and brushing it when it's dry, and start sleeping on a soap pillowcase. You don't have to diffuse your hair. You can if you want. You can just try air drying if you want, but keep things incredibly, incredibly simple until you start to feel slightly less overwhelmed and it becomes more about fun experiments, trying things out, enjoying the process. If you're feeling overwhelmed, find your products that you like and just stick with them. You don't have to make this overly complicated if you don't want to. I like this question. The science behind why my hair is more curly in the summer versus the winter. So the reason is that typically in the summer, there is more moisture and humidity in the air. Curly hair loves moisture, loves hydration. In the winter, the air is literally sucking the life out of your hair, and it can be really difficult to keep your hair more nourished and hydrated in the winter, especially if you live in a very cold and dry climate. And even if you don't, even if you live in a fairly mild climate, there is a significant change from summer to winter in the moisture levels in the air. So your hair's probably going to be happier, bouncier, more curly in the summer versus the winter. Let's just do a couple more questions because this video is getting rather long. So if we need a part 2, comment down below. Tell me, do we need a part 2 to these questions? Are you enjoying these videos? Are these helpful? Give this video a thumbs up if this is helpful. We'll keep doing these if these are beneficial. Organic product recommendations. My favorite organic line that I have ever tried is A Simple Planet. It doesn't get much cleaner than that. They are all the words you want: non-GMO, organic, vegan, and waste-free. They're some of the few products I have ever found that are waste-free. They're made in small batches. I know the owner, she's epic. A Simple Planet, great organic products. The line is growing. I'm glad to see her growing. You should totally check those out if you are really hunting for extreme clean products. I can't style upside down. Do you have a right side up routine? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't usually style right side up simply because I get more root volume, root lift when I style upside down. I really don't like how flat my hair sticks to my head when I style right side up. So that is me personally, but I have been told by a hairstylist that I have exceptionally slippery, silky, heavy hair. So right side up styling and volume for me do not go hand in hand. But for many people, I understand 100% that hanging upside down over your bathtub while you scrunch in gel is not an option. So I have styled my hair right side up. The routine is pretty similar to when I'm upside down. You should totally check it out. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sure hope you find it helpful, and I also truly hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.